The propaganda for the 2024 general election is in full swing after a rally in Ohio. The mainstream media went into an absolute meltdown over some of Trump's comments, and they do what they do best, take them out of context and shove them in front of everyone. From the New York Times, Trump says migrants are, quote, not people, and predicts a, quote, bloodbath if he loses. Let's get right into the story and we'll see how they are covering this. Mr. Trump also stoked fears about the influx of migrants, about 10 plus million in 3 years, coming into the United States at the southern border, as he did during his successful campaign in 2016. Mr. Trump used incendiary and dehumanizing language to cast many migrants as threats to American citizens. He asserted, without evidence, that other countries were emptying their prisons of young people. That's a lie. It is happening in Venezuela, and sending them across the border. I don't know if you call them people in some cases, he said. They're not people, in my opinion. He later referred to them as animals. Well, just like in 2016 with the lie of Trump called all Mexicans rapists, no, he is talking about the human traffickers, the drug dealers, and the human smugglers that are bringing tens of millions of people and tens of thousands of pounds of extremely deadly drugs over the southern border. All right? These human traffickers that are making hundreds of millions of dollars from this, all right, they're worse than animals. All right, these people are demons. All right, they are trafficking children for the sake of sex. It is absolutely disgusting. I don't know what you would call them. I don't know why the mainstream media is working so hard to defend people who commit some of the most heinous crimes on earth. We'll continue. Border officials, including some who worked in the Trump administration, have said that most migrants who cross the border are members of vulnerable families fleeing violence and poverty, and available data does not support the idea that migrants are spurring increases in crime. That is a flat out lie. Every single person that crosses the border illegally is a criminal, so it is a one-to-one crime with someone coming over the border. So, yes, they are increasing crime, and yes, we also see that violent crime is increasing very rapidly in America. And when they say that these people are fleeing violence and poverty, well, they have to go to the first country available. You don't get to fly across the world, or you don't get to travel over 8 different countries just to make it to America, where you know you can have the best benefits and job because they're economic migrants. All right, they are not refugees, and if they were, they would go through the legal ports of entry and apply for asylum. They wouldn't pay cartels thousands of dollars to legally ship them over the border. Now, I'll do something that the mainstream media would never do for you, and that is just show you the full clip unedited. Let's watch it.
Manufacturing business in our country. Think of it. Went to Mexico. China now is building a couple of massive plants where they're going to build the cars in Mexico and they think that they're going to sell those cars into the United States with no tax at the border. Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal, those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us. Now, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole, that's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it.
So there he was, clearly talking about the auto industry, not calling for violence against his political opponents. This was probably my favorite reaction to this speech we have from ALX on Twitter, who just tweeted out this Morning Joe clip, and it is just absolutely hilarious to watch.
He's talking about a bloodbath for America. It's laid out in the terms of it. And these idiots on Twitter, these idiots on cable news, these idiots on Sunday shows going, well, presidents, he was talking only about the auto industry, and this is one more. It's just bullshit. Let me say that at 6:15 a.m. It's just bullshit. He knew what he was doing. We're not stupid. Americans aren't stupid. He was talking about a bloodbath. Sometimes a bloodbath means a bloodbath. And when he finishes by saying, and that's just going to be the least of it, seriously, these people may be stupid. We're not.
It's absolutely insane. These people are stupid. Yes, do exactly what the TV tells you. Ignore the own evidence of your eyes and ears and listen to them. They know it's right, all right? It's absolutely crazy that these people wake up every day and do this for a living, and they don't see anything wrong with it. They think they're objective journalists, and it's just absolutely hilarious. They literally just get up here and spew propaganda. I saw even the Biden administration made a comment on this, and you know how they love to lie and gaslight Americans. We even know from the very start, all right, Joe Biden launched his campaign off a lie just like this, the very fine people in Charlottesville hoax. That never happened. Trump never called white supremacists and neo-Nazis very fine people in Charlottesville, all right? They did the exact same thing they're doing with this, where they selectively edit the video, don't show you the whole thing, don't want you to see the whole thing, and just want you to believe their narrative. They say sometimes a bloodbath is just a bloodbath. Well, I think it's just a figure of speech people use when something bad is going to happen. Like look at all these articles that came out. Battleground bloodbath. GOP loses but no bloodbath. Bloodbath for the Democratic Party. Now Obama says Europe will be a bloodbath if EU breaks up. All right. They will blatantly lie. They think this is the worst thing ever. I can't believe he said bloodbath, as if they don't use that figure of speech, as if everyday people don't use that figure of speech all the time. We can see how Donald Trump has just absolutely broken the minds of some people, and mainly people in the media. Here we have an article, says, you can see it right there. This article was published more than 8 years ago. Donald Trump is a textbook example of an ideological moderate. I would love to know what is the most radical position Trump has. Some people will say deportations, so following the laws that are already on the books that he didn't put into place. Prosecuting his political opponents. Well, again, that's just investigating. You have a preponderance of evidence, investigating it, see if there's any criminal action. All right, so following the law that's already on the books, all right, that he didn't write. Let's look at the quote unquote moderate positions of the Democratic Party. Open borders, all right, 10 plus million people illegally enter the country in 1 year. Child sex changes, all right. They love to project, all right. However they feel, they'll project it on the other side. They're the radical side, all right. They're the crazy people. They want to destroy democracy. No, we just want to uphold the laws that are already on the books. Like, you can't come into the country illegally and then gain benefits. All right. You shouldn't be able to give children sex changes. All right. But if you don't agree with that, then they say you're crazy. You're the extreme one. No, that's not crazy extreme to think children shouldn't get sex changes. But that is a core tenet of the Democratic Party. All right. They fight tooth and nail to get that. That's what they want more than anything else, it seems, nowadays. I guess I would tell people that whenever you see something like this coming up and you don't want like people around you to be propagandized, because once they see it on the news, they're going to think it's fact. And if you try to challenge them on it, they'll be like, no, no, that's crazy. So that's why as soon as something like this comes out, send them the whole video. Let them watch the whole video, because then when they see it on the news later, they're going to be like, what? No, I watched the whole video. That's not what happens. That's how you got to wake people up to the mainstream media lying to their face and propagandizing them so hard. Let me know what you guys think. If you agree with me, disagree with me, let me know. I'd love to start a conversation. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.